everybody, good morning. What's going on? Let's see. Well, the dollar's down, gold's up, dollar down, gold's up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up for a second. Didn't we have 2 rate hikes? Isn't the dollar supposed to go up and gold supposed to go down when the Fed raises interest rates? What happened there? Yes, what happened there, folks? What happened there? I'll tell you what happened there. What happened there is junk economics. What happened there is ignorance. What happened there is people who do not understand the monetary system, do not understand sovereign money, do not understand how rate adjustments equate to price setting. When you set prices higher, you have inflation, and inflation is devastating to a currency. By the way, this inflation is not only here in the United States. You see what's happening. Germany, for example, inflation at a 4-year high. So with one central bank, granted, it's a very important central bank, the most important central bank, the Fed, with 2 measly rate hikes in the last, 12, 13 months, inflation is already zooming to multi-year highs. Isn't this funny, too, I have to say, how all the backward inflationistas, I like to call them, the people like the Schiffs, and the, I don't know why I said Trump, the Schiffs, and the Jim Rogers, and the Mark Faber, remember this guy? They're printing money, that's gonna be inflation. When the Fed was conducting all of its extraordinary monetary operations, from 2008 until 2014, when they brought rates down to zero, when they were doing program after program of quantitative easing, and all of these guys, all of these fools who did not understand the monetary system, how they were predicting hyperinflation and a crash of the dollar and interest rates spiking through the roof. What I said was the exact opposite. I was right. They were wrong. And now that entire, group is aligned in the other direction now, talking about higher interest rates. Over the last couple of days, many of you have sent me articles and things, which is great. It shows that you're paying attention, you're looking, you're clipping out stories, you're questioning these stories. It's fantastic. You've been sending me articles about how all the so-called geniuses on Wall Street now, these analysts and people at Goldman Sachs and every place, they're predicting a higher dollar because of the Fed's program of rate hikes. And yet they must be looking at what's going on and just like wondering, well, when is this going to happen? But they stick to that view. And as I've said many times, it's one of the reasons why economics is not a science at all. Because any science that would deem itself worthy of being called a credible science would start to question why its theories were not at least partially observable in the empirical evidence. Not to mention a situation where it's completely opposite of what they have been predicting. Do they go back to the drawing board? Do they question why it's not happening? Do they try to see the flaws in their analysis? No, they just dig their heels in deeper. They stick with it. They become more emphatic in their pronouncements. It's going to happen. This is just a pause. It's just a pause. Meanwhile, what? We have the euro at like 3-month highs against the dollar. We have the yen going up. We have gold at a 3-month high. All right, so there it is, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue as long as these rate hikes keep getting put through. And I made the prediction that while the Fed is the only central bank right now hiking rates, the others are going to fall in line. It's just a matter of time because this inflation that's being created, it's being exported, it's being felt everywhere, not just here in the United States. And there's also this discussion of the border tax. I'm not going to get out. I'll save that for another video. But the same analysts who are wrong on the dollar outlook, part of that or some of the arguments for that stronger dollar has to do with this Trump proposed border tax on Mexico. And the rationale behind that, at least from many of you have been sending me articles or clippings or economic rationale, so to speak, as to why that's going to happen. Again, that is all flawed economics. It is all flawed economics. There's no increase in demand for dollars, at least not an increase which will not simultaneously be met with an expansion in credit and or more government spending, whether that is by design or as a result of the flows from that border tax itself, or from the way imports are financed, which is expanded bank credit here in the United States. The foreign sector receives that credit. We receive the goods. So now the domestic sector will receive that credit. So if there is any increase in demand, which there shouldn't be, because all we're doing is we're shifting demand from the foreign sector to the domestic sector. We're still going to be buying the same amount of cars and the same amount of clothes and the same amount of toys, whatever we get from Mexico, the same amount of tacos, I don't know. We're just shifting where it's being produced. We're not increasing the demand. There's no increase in demand for dollars here. All right? All right. I also want to just make mention of a couple of things. I've been getting some really, really nice emails from many of you who have been telling me about your successes. I had one guy, this is fantastic to hear. He said he struggled for 8 years. He read all the books. He studied so hard. He studied charts. He studied the markets. He never really got it. It was his dream to become a trader. He really wanted to succeed at it. He devoted all of his time and effort. It wasn't working out. He came to me. He said, Mike, you've completely, enlightened me. You've turned around my situation in 1 month, in the month of January. First time ever with a $25,000 account. He already booked $5,000 in profits. Bravo. 20% return in the month of January. Zero losses. And he said, Mike, you've opened my eyes. It's true. It can be done. It is absolutely an incredible thing. You've not only turned me on to how I can finally become a success as a trader, but also these principles apply to life. I've been applying them to my life. It's a fantastic story. And I've been getting a lot of stories like this. And also from people who don't necessarily trade, but they've been enlightened by the MMT ideas. They've been helped enormously by the mental game and the motivational concepts. So, some people say, why do you do this? It's incredibly gratifying for me when I get these kind of emails, and I'm really happy for these people. Great job. SEAL Team 6, we got it. It's funny. I watch what's going on. I listen to what's going on. I listen to these so-called geniuses on Wall Street. It is so easy for me and my group here to pick their pockets that it is just, this is like child's play to us. It is absolutely child's play. And it's fun. Let me tell you, it's fun when you're doing stuff like that. When you're taking money away from idiots and arrogant people and elitists, that is fun. All right, so come join the fun. See you guys later. Bye-bye.